Welcome to Chapter 2 B Tree Basics. So, starts with a basic revision of binary search trees, which are binary trees with the restriction on values. What are the values which nodes can take with regard to which allow efficient search in log n time. And then tree balancing is important because you can have a BST which is a pathological tree, which is essentially a linked list with all the nodes on just say all the nodes just have one child except the leaf, and the child is the right subtree of its parent. Then talks about what kind of trees should be there for disk-based storage. So we need to have high fan out. High fan out would mean that a parent has a lot of children. High fan out would also improve locality of the neighboring keys, and also it will reduce the height of the tree, which will reduce the number of seeks during traversal. Disk-based structures. So first we go into understanding our hardware. Now we also looked at this part from the CS 186 lectures, which talked about hard disk and SSDs. In hard disk we have the seek time and then the transfer. So, and in SSDs we are able to read pretty much from anywhere. Like let's say we want to read 4 kilobytes at different memory address at different disk offsets or whatever, right? Different addressing. How addressing is done in SSD, I'm not sure. Must be like maybe there is a there isn't a sector, but there will be some other location. So if we are doing random reads is pretty bad in HDD, but it is much better in SSDs. In terms of writes, again, sequential writes are good in hard disks. Random writes are quite bad because seek time will be there. And in SSDs, there is a notion of a write amplification. If we want to, because there is like a minimum block which has to be written. So the smallest unit which can be written or read is a page in SSD. We are in the SSD section. However, we can only make changes to the empty memory cells. The smallest erase entity is not a page but a block which holds multiple pages, which is why it's often called an erase block. So yeah, things have to be like moved around, etc. So all of this leads to some write amplification. And in SSDs, if you were to do sequential writes, that is also much better than doing random writes. There is a small section on paged binary trees where we want to have nodes which are mapping to pages somehow. So in comes B trees. They introduce us to B trees. They are a page organization technique. They are used to organize and navigate fixed size pages. B plus trees allow storing values only on the leaf. So what's happening in a B tree is we have a node, and then we have a lot of separator keys, and these keys decide uh, what are the keys which can go into a child node, right? They basically, the child node will be put in a certain range depending on so there would be the separator keys, and then there would be the child node pointers, etc. And essentially a child node can be between two separator keys, or if the child node is perhaps I think the first one, then it will just be the if it is the leftmost child of a particular node, then it will be just before the first separator key in terms of the key ranges it can hold. Lookup, complexity, log, m is the total, log to the base m, log m to the base k. M is the total number of items, and k is I think number of perhaps the branching factor. B tree lookup algorithm would start from the root, figure out the separator key depending on the key you are the separator key, which is I think just within each node you can actually do a binary search. You have a lot of these separator keys, right? The algorithm starts from the root and performs a binary search, comparing the searched key with the key stored in the root node until it finds the first separator key that is greater than the searched value, right? This locates a searched subtree, and then you recursively go down and down and down. Now in the B tree there are many things like how it gets populated, and then while insertion, eventually some node will become full, and then it needs to be split up. And when you split it up, you create a new node, and then you move some separator keys here and there, and sometimes you also need to then promote a separator key to the parent, etc. All of that is there. Similarly, there are also node deletes which may result in node being merged. What we have seen in CS 186 is they say that if a node is completely empty, then it will be removed, but we don't really do a lot of the merges. It's fine to let the node which is having an underflow, the occupancy falls below a threshold. So it's fine. What they're saying is it's fine to just leave it as it is. So that is the end of chapter 2.